Schitt's Creek. Her show
Oh,
comes
does that
out.
start tonight?
Yeah, on
Yeah.
AMC.
Come on.
There's nothing like riveting podcasting
Listen to
while,
people clickety clack.
While we Google.
while we look things up.
This is the part that Todd gets to edit out.
Nah, I'm not editing shit.
I'm right there.
If you go on IMDb, that's
what
where
I'm
I
looking
saw
for.
it. Youngest daughter of SNL alumni Lorraine Newman.
See, youngest daughter of.
That's what
Oh,
I
no,
said.
I'm
She's
sorry. I
the
thought you were
daughter
saying,
of.
Oh no, I thought you were talking about the character's mom on the show.
No.
I'm sorry. I didn't
No.
realize you were saying the actress's
the,
mom.
the actress
Okay,
who
okay.
portrays that character. Her mother is Lorraine Newman.
Okay.
Okay.
I,
All
thought,
right,
I
yeah.
thought you meant the mother of her.
That's
no,
what
yeah,
I was
yeah,
going. I was
yeah.
going. No, that's
Yeah,
that's
Hannah
not
is
her.
actually the daughter of Lorraine
Yeah.
So
Newman.
let me start over.
All right.
All right.
The young woman who plays it, her mother is Lorraine Newman.
Okay.
And I thought, I have not thought of Lorraine Newman.
Why?
In decades. I
thought
don't
of her
know that I've-
because she's been on a podcast, Scarborough Brothers. Recently.
has she really?
Yeah, they're friends.
No, she's doing a phenomenal job, particularly because I wasn't aware of in her at all. Like, she just came out and she can hold her own in her scenes.
Well,
That's great.
if you read Gene Smart talking about it, they didn't really know who they were going to cast in it. She said that the two of them, oh my God, band, stop doing that. I'm busy. They met and they said they just hit it off, and Gene Smart said something like, we had the most delicious, mean-spirited text back and forth with each other, and we knew at that point we could do this. And I think that the way those two women handle themselves, regardless of your concerns, I think that they beautifully ebb and flow off that.
I do.
Bam, bam.
Richard and I kept on going, why do you think that's Lorraine
I know,
Newman?
I did.
I'm
I was like, that's
what
not-
are you doing?
What I love is that my two dear friends across from me pay as little attention to me as my wife does whenever I speak. And
Do you hear something?
What?
Sean, what is that?
What are we doing here?
What's going on? Are we going to have an in-between without talking about Star Wars Galaxy?
Oh my goodness.
I said it.
What do you think of the new layout?
I haven't seen anybody pull out their phone or anything or play any Star Wars Galaxy this entire time yet. Have you? Have you?
I have not.
I touched mine this morning, and I'm just so perturbed by what's going on with that right now that I'm like,
What do you think of the new layout?
Was there this new layout?
Yeah.
Like,
so
what's
there are
new
things
about
I
it?
like about it. What I
I'm
like
just having a
is
problem with I finish an action and it seems to take like 20 seconds to 30
it
seconds.
is a little
It
slow.
did that to me for a
So
while.
they redid some of the front laying interface. The one thing I like about it now, if you go look at a character, you can actually see their
See all their
synergies
stuff.
Okay,
and all
that
that
stuff I like.
Yeah,
okay,
that's
that's
what
I like that a lot.
I like knowing
But
they
yeah,
don't have a leadership
do you
ability.
see how they have like the teams already built for
Yes.
the stuff that you need to do?
Yes,
That's
I
nice. So
like
you can
that
see,
too.
oh, I need to upgrade these
Yep.
people instead of searching for them.
Well,
Yeah.
I found that I went to the one to finally get my 7-star Chewbacca, and I was like, that's the team they want me to put together.
Yeah. Uh huh.
All the Fets.
Yeah. Uh
I
huh.
was like, huh?
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was Mando.
Like bounty. It's a bunch of bounty stuff.
It was
Okay.
Mando, Boba, and Jango. They want me to build that, and then Bosk and what's his name?
Dengar.
Dengar, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. While y'all talk, I'm looking up Lorraine Newman just to see what she's
Ha.
been doing. Apparently, she worked with Guillermo del Toro. What did she work with him on?
I don't remember.
Huh? Hey,
I didn't,
you
I
know
didn't
what?
know, I didn't know
She's
she
been-
was still working. I thought she just
She
kind of
is.
retired for a
Yeah.
while. Didn't she pop back up in something like a few years ago?
I mean, she's all over the place. She's tons of work. It's funny. All I can do is see her on Saturday Night Live with her hair and
the
kind of
long
playing
hair.
the "oh hey" spacey kind of person. Okay, we cannot all be looking on Google right now. at the same time.
Sorry. She does a ton of voice acting work. Did not know that.
Well, that's the cool thing. Like with Mark Hamill, you know, that I had a fight with somebody probably 5+ years ago. Woman I like, but she's like, "Oh, Mark Hamill, he's such a hack.
What?
He only had Star Wars." And I was like,
What?
"Okay, screw
First of
you."
all-
Corvette Summer was a great shitty film.
I actually liked that film a lot.
I do
when I was a
too.
kid.
I do too. But then I told her, I said, "You cannot discount that." I was like,
Joker.
He's one of the
All these-
best voice actors," and she starts laughing, and I'm like, "What are you laughing at?" "Voice actors, that just means you're crap." And I'm like, Do you?" I'm like, "I like you, but
All
you
right,
don't know what you're talking
I know,
about because
I know.
that's
Leave
huge."
this house.
It's like that's huge,
Mm-hmm.
and. There's a documentary out there, and I can't think of what it's called, but it's about voice actors and that principle. And it's just
Well,
a beautiful film.
Speaking of voice actors, you should actually bring up some prominent people that did voice acting for live action, and she might appreciate it from that standpoint.
I know
we
that
just talked
voice.
about David Prowse,
Right.
or Darth Vader. We've got well, not David Prowse, but you know what I'm
James
saying.
Earl Jones.
James Earl Jones as Darth Vader.
Right.
You've got any of the CG digital characters that if she won't watch Rogue One, you've got K2SO. You've
Right.
got what's his name, Alan Tudyk doing that voice.
Right.
And so it's underappreciated when she begins to think about she thinks about animation. She doesn't think about the contribution to live
I think
action.
people don't ever consider, hey, I'm watching this. It's the battle I get into with my mom. Or just the other day, I was talking about this podcast, and she's like, I've never seen one of the Planet of the Apes movies. I'm like, well, Lottie fucking da for you.
Yeah.
She looks down on them, and she's like, it's a little too fake. And I'm like, Mom, when you watched your Victorian movie last night, by the way, did you realize in that 5 minutes there were probably about 6 camera setups, and it was fake, and what you're seeing together is not a real discussion? Those people may not even be on the set together. Well, of course they're on the set together. I'm like, no,
Not necessarily.
they aren't.
It's all
That's
fake.
not how this shit works. And so for the people that aren't willing to say, wow, here's the level of what I enjoy, there's a ton of levels below it making it that I don't understand, don't put people down.
Right.
There's so many contributions to how these mediums work that it's like,
Well, I was speaking of voice acting. I mean, it's not Tony Stark in that Iron Man armor when the Iron Man armor is just running around. I mean,
Right.
I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but it's what's his name sitting in a studio doing voice work that entire time, and animators putting the actual Iron Man moving around, which was my conversation with Sean coming up. I was kind of disappointed they actually killed off Tony Stark in
And
the
the Marvel
movies
universe.
because they didn't need to.
that's funny. I wondered about that.
I mean, the actor could have they could have just
Shown him
what's
less.
his name? I remember like Robbie Downey Jr.
Yeah.
They could have just shown him less. He could literally be.
The grandfather figure that shows up every now and then in a movie, passes the gauntlet.
They
to
could do a
somebody
movie,
else.
and it's just Iron Man 90% of the time, and he comes in and films 2 days of Tony Stark walking around,
Right.
and he goes into the studio and does 2 to 3 days of audio. Boom, he's made millions of dollars. They didn't have to kill Tony Stark
Right.
to keep it going. I mean, the people that you can't see really age, like Chris Evans. Sure, maybe you got to move Chris Evans on at some point because he can't
Right.
star
He's
as
literally
Captain
100
America
years
the
old.
entire time. But Iron Man would have been the simplest one to keep around, and he could have just been making those millions.
Well, and then there were a lot of people saying, yeah, he didn't want to keep making those movies. Okay. Have him in that
You don't
role
have
you're
to kill the
talking about,
character, yeah.
and he comes in for 3 days of work, and you pay him $500,000, and it's like, okay,
I haven't watched any of the movies, but Paul Walker character, whenever Paul Walker actually died, they didn't kill off his character and say he died. They had him drive off into the sunset. So he's still alive in that universe.
Yeah.
They can refer to him if they want to.
They could these actors always do this thing where they cut a project
done.
off, and then somehow they end up popping back up again. 10 years later because they
Doctor Who, Christopher
they now appreciate the fandom again.
Christopher
Well-
Eccleston is doing voice work for Doctor Who now when he said he'd never do Doctor Who again.
Yeah.
just whatever happens, if Gwyneth Paltrow comes back in the Marvel universe, I'm out because I cannot stand that woman. Oh God, she
You
drives
got
me
your
insane.
vagina egg?
Yeah.
Well, there was also that thing that she put out. There was something about that it smelled like her vagina. And
Candle?
Yeah, Stephen Colbert just seized on it, and I was like, yeah, look, we're all human and we all have those things, but why do you have to do what you do? It drives me nuts.
They're just kooky people out
So,
there.
grifters got to grift. All right.
Is that what it is?
You got to make a buck.
Anybody got anything else for this? Now that we've ended on Gwyneth Paltrow's vagina scent, I didn't know that we can go anywhere else with
That's
that.
the name of it in between.
Is that what it is?
There you go.
Yeah, goop.
Well, I guess then we'll call it. It's Father's Day, and it's my prerogative to call it early.
You want that Bloody Mary?
Yeah.
I do. You
We'll get
bitches
you.
shut up. We're not talking about anything else. Everyone have a great weekend.
Go get drunk.
Bye,
Bye.
everybody. Bye, everybody. Again.